We're going to talk about some of the new things that we're seeing in AI, and these can range from medical to business tech to, I mean, there's a huge range that you'll find that we go through. We just try to find articles that are interesting and that our community might think is interesting. So last week, Nicole was at a women's summit in Montreal. So there's a little bit of an update about what went on there. She spoke at that and met with some other entrepreneurs and had a great time there. And we started our class last week, AI Your Agency. We have now nicknamed it all kinds of things: AI Your Agency, AI Your Business, AI Your Operations, whatever you want to AI, that's what it's all about. So this last week we started our first session, and most of you are in that. And we started to go over the first of the 4Ds, which is define. So we're thinking about what parts of our workflows we can or cannot automate and what those look like. And then began talking about SOPs and how to create those and start building out your map for the automation process. Um, and WordPress is becoming more AI accessible. They are integrating more AI tools in their content creation. Um, Looks like there's also some plans to make it fully AI accessible, allowing integrations with AI agents and smarter workflows. And that's kind of vague, so I don't know where they're going with that really, but just interesting to see WordPress. That's where our sites and, it's a business standard for most people. Um, a lot of people using WordPress. So to know that they're going to make that more AI accessible, because I hadn't seen a lot going on there. Yes, there are plugins that you can use and some have AI capabilities, but in WordPress itself, I hadn't really seen much happening yet. So that's kind of interesting. And NVIDIA. Hey, Nicole, welcome. Has a new robot system, plans in seconds. I haven't even read this article yet, so this one is interesting to me because it's MIT and NVIDIA and the researchers there helping robots solve complex problems, complex tasks like packing items in seconds. So that's kind of interesting. Um, I think these are more, has to do with like warehouse and factories. So that's where that would sort of integrate into that workflow. But we're all still waiting for the robot that comes to our house and puts away our laundry, right? Or does
Gonna
the
say,
laundry, or
yeah,
dishes, or trash, or, take your pick, right?
MIT has the robot that they're working on that does fold laundry. It will do laundry and fold it for you.
That's
It was,
amazing.
yeah, it wasn't to the point of putting it away yet. But the MIT labs, we keep an eye on that because they're doing really cool things that would make everybody's life easier.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm all for that one. Anybody else want to give their chores to somebody else? I would definitely want to do that.
It feels very much like a sci-fi movie.
Right?
Yeah,
Or what was the on the
the Jetsons,
Jetsons? Yeah, that
Mm. Rosie.
Rosie.
Rosie. That's what it was.
Yeah, I mean, because I would love my robot to I have, the vacuum cleaner, but that's nothing. Like I want someone that would do the dishes and, like all the cleaning stuff. The robot that does the vacuuming is very nice, but I don't think we're that far off. They have roofing robots that are like $30,000 for in construction.
Wow. Yeah, and we're
Yeah.
already seeing them implement the robots into, like Amazon and distribution and that sort of thing. So, yeah, it's not too far off. And we've all seen even back in like, you know, 2000s, even then in the 90s with the types of robots that would help on like the industrial and manufacturing area too. I mean, they of course weren't thinking for themselves or like having any sort of um
I mean,
They weren't learning.
yeah, they definitely weren't learning. They're just following the program. So,
the autonomous taxis in San Francisco are everywhere.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's like Tesla. or whatever Elon Musk is up to. Tesla is kind of the leader in that area. Their manufacturing floor is almost all robots. Like they don't have people down there doing anything except running the robots. And it's
Wow.
pretty amazing what they're doing. And then I'm sure that you've heard about their plans to make every Tesla autonomous so that it can make money for you when you're not using it, and it can be the taxi for you. I think we're going to see within the next 5 years things that we can't even imagine being real, coming to life, because once AI and quantum computing really get together, they're working on it. But once that happens, the compute power is going to be huge to do things that we have not even dreamed of yet.
Yeah. Exciting times.
It's moving at a phenomenal pace too, right? There's just the advancements from a day-to-day, month-to-month basis. Like it's just moving way
Yes.
faster than anybody thought.
Yep. And there's more capabilities than the people who built it know that things are capable of. And it's the users that we're learning all the capabilities. So if you were to ask me for a list of all the things AI could help you with in your business, I couldn't give you a comprehensive list because it doesn't exist. And we're creating and discovering these things together.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think of Jeffrey Hinton's take on AI?
Um, the guy from Google, is
Yeah,
that yeah, I don't know. I've heard his
it's doom and gloomy.
interviews. Yeah, it is. And I think if he's like the analytical engineer, and Google has been the most conservative
Hmm.
in what they release, it fits his personality. I'll just say that. Like there's so much positive that's happening, and we've had AI in the military for a long time.
Yeah.
So the nefarious uses, or life and death use cases of AI have been around for a while. So it'll be what the humans use it for more than the AI itself, I think. Um, and what we decide to unleash it on.
For sure. Okay,
Yeah.
the next one is Otter and transforming meetings. And I would love to have an avatar attend some of the meetings I have to go to every day. And so what they're trying to do is handle mundane meeting tasks, and insights during the meetings to help the meetings move along faster. But then I imagine also for following up after the meetings, we're using Read AI. That's the one that we're using right now. And it does a really good job of summarizing, of coming up with action plans, of understanding who is talking and at what time. And it does really good transcriptions, recordings, and all of those things.
Yeah, and Otter in there was talking about having avatars attend the meetings,
Mm-hmm.
and that will be a capability. Well, it's something that they're working on. And right now, HeyGen has avatars that can attend meetings for up to 20 minutes. And I've got a friend who is doing all of their screening interviews using an avatar. Because they get a lot of tire kickers for job interviews. They have a warehouse and distributions they're always hiring, and they'll have people who want an interview who are not even in the right state. And it's an in-person job. And there's a company in Mexico, or not Mexico, they Colombia. They're Latin American company doing it for screening interviews as well on the phone. And they have a whole system they resell just for that purpose, is screening interviews. So I think it's an interesting use case if you think about the HR side of it, because
Mm-hmm.
of AI now we can mass apply for jobs
Yeah.
and not be even anywhere remotely qualified. And so there's new way of sorting through those, sorting through all the applications. Because I've seen, that's what my friends have seen, as a lot of these AI resumes and not even relevant. So there's this sorting, there's AI that is sorting resumes and doing phone interviews and doing video interviews. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Then what?
you could synthesize somebody's voice, I think, pretty accurately too, where you couldn't even tell
Hmm.
the,
Yep.
like for podcasts and like content creation. I can imagine it's
Yeah.
useful.
Yeah, even having a chatbot on your website or even available for your employees to ask questions could be about what's in the handbook, or it could be a customer service person on the website. And there's what HeyGen calls streaming avatars. They've had that for a while, but they also have it available now where you can use two avatars to create like that
Hmm.
podcast conversation, which is really cool. And then there's 11 Labs has always been, at least in our opinion, like one of the better voices, but we use HeyGen for ours. So unless you're like super particular, or maybe depending on what field you're in, where like the accuracy of someone's voice might make a difference, then HeyGen takes care of all of it. But there are other tools like 11 Labs that.
Yeah, and HeyGen has 11 labs integrated too, and so you can train it on your voice, and you could do like you can do more tuning in 11 labs, and so you could actually do the really accurate tuning and then import it. But we do our stuff natively inside of HeyGen. And if my voice isn't good in one of the videos that I upload for Marikar, she picks a voice from a different one. So there's
Mhm.
a whole library of my voices because it depends where it was recorded, the sound in the background. There's all of these different things where my voice could sound higher, lower, more echoey. And so she can pick the best voice and change the avatars out in there. Now there's quite a bunch of voices of mine in there.
Good mood, bad mood. Right?
Yeah,
Does the avatar look like you, or like what's the,
yeah.
Yeah.
oh,
If
You
you
just
go to
take a short
any of our
video of yourself and you upload it, and it learns you
oh,
based
fun.
on your video. Yeah.
Mark, do
Pretty
you want
cool.
to screen share?
Yeah, just curious.
Um, yeah, we have tons of them. So usually when I'm traveling, I'll record a 30-second video. I upload it to HeyGen. So then Marikar's got different outfits that I'm wearing and different backgrounds
Wow.
to keep the content fresh so that it's not the same one over and over. So there's quite a few in there. There's one where I'm in like a surf swimsuit in Costa Rica. I just was testing that in the pool. So we put these things out and we see like what looks get the most responses. There's also where in the winter time where I'm walking in the snow and I have a beanie on, and that one seemed to do pretty well. Like the sound on it wasn't great because like I was outside crunching in the snow. Um, and it's not the best video either, but
Yeah, but
that
it doesn't even
that
matter.
look
That,
does well.
yeah, yeah. That's the whole point, like those sort of UGC style, like, oh, I'm just here and this was so important that I had to record it right now kind of thing is works better than, setting up a bunch of lights in your office or wherever you are and like trying to create that perfect scene.
Yeah. Took me a lot of those to get over the grittiness of it, I guess.
You do a short video and then you can extend the video by plugging in the content you want it to convey, and it just
Yep.
replicates the background and
Hmm.
your persona or the,
You
yeah.
can also cut out the background. So you'll
Wow.
see like in mine, they're cut out.
Pretty slick. Dang.
Yeah, so you can put yourself in front of another video, which is kind of what that's doing there.
Will you stop the share and then share it with sound so we can hear it?
This is fascinating. Wow.
It's really helpful for social media.
They're working on a
There you
tiny
go.
AI device that they claim will be your new daily essential, right alongside your laptop and smartphone. Sounds like a blockbuster duo, right? But here's the thing. We've heard this kind of hype before. Every year seems to bring another so-called revolutionary gadget that promises to change everything. Yet how many really deliver? Remember the flops? Yeah, me too. Guess we'll see soon enough. Hey, what would you want from a device like this? Something game-changing, or just the next big thing to
That's
collect
pretty
dust?
excellent. Like if you'd have to really, I think, hyper focus on it to determine that it's AI.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and with these videos, the shelf life or the just life of them, right? Social media is not that long. So we try to keep that in mind on how much time it takes us to create the videos too, so that you're not taking, weeks to produce a video that's only going to be seen for 24 hours or less. And this is perfect for that.
Yeah, you should show one of the flower field ones or something, because the video on that's so bad and it was windy. Um,
What is AI sales forecasting? AI sales
yeah,
forecasting uses artificial intelligence to predict future sales by analyzing factors like past trends, market conditions, and, for the curious ones out there, even the weather. It's like having a crystal ball, only smarter and backed by data.
So
yeah.
possibilities are endless with that, right? You could
Yes, and
send
then
happy birthday messages to everybody and have your script for that just fill in the contact's name like a mail merge type of thing. It's pretty cool.
yeah, there's an API that you can use. So one of our colleagues, he did that and he sent it to all his he used it was cold email to his ideal purchasers, and these are Fortune 500 companies. And he had 140% open rate because people were opening, watching the video, and sharing it. And he used HeyGen for these, custom videos for every customer that it was sent to. And it was custom in the way that it said the person's name and also their company. And it was a case study about what they did for another company in their industry. And he had amazing results with this.
I also like the ones that have the little circle head. If you go back up a little bit, Marakar, it's almost like your own
Yeah.
Loom video. So if you don't actually have a Loom video of yourself describing how to use Suno, you could just feed it the script and pick whoever you want to describe it, and there you
Step
go.
2.
Yeah, so we do a lot of how-to. Well, Marakar puts together a lot of how-to videos this way. And then you can also change the language to be any language that you want, and it does a good job with that too.
Wow.
Yeah, we actually used it for another class we taught, our applied AI class, and we needed it in German. And so we used HeyGen to translate all of the videos.
Jetzt, wo du weißt, wie man benutzerdefinierte Agenten erstellt,
Oh,
lass
man.
uns einige Anwendungsfälle durchgehen. Angenommen, du möchtest einen benutzerdefinierten Agenten erstellen, damit
And there's a little delay in the video there, you can't tell, but it actually does
Und für die
change the avatar's mouth to sort of go with whatever language.
How are you able to like
Beispiel werde ich so tun.
confirm that it's actually good German? If
We had someone check it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a native German speaker.
We still
Nuances.
need humans, and we still use them. So
Mhm.
we aren't all avatars yet.
Yeah.
No.
How good is the syncing on the audio to lips? It looked like there was a little bit of a delay, and I don't know if that was because we're sharing through Zoom.
It's part of it can be through Zoom, but sometimes depending on the avatar, some of Nicole's avatars are better at syncing with what she's saying than others.
Okay.
But I mean, for the most part, I can tell it's AI every time, but like to most people, if they're just scrolling in their feeds or whatever, like they're not really going to know. And
Yeah.
at the same time, we are transparent that we use it. So we think it's okay if we're using AI. So I think it really depends on your audience or what it is you're trying to do. But I think it's obvious that they're AI, but not everybody can tell. So
Cool.
depends on your audience, I guess.
Mhm.
Tendremos que verlo. Otra cosa interesante que vi en las noticias fueron los cambios en la política de privacidad de X y el hecho de que van a permitir el acceso de terceros a tu información, lo cual no es algo nuevo en realidad, porque ya hay gente haciéndolo como Reddit y algunos de los otros canales.
And what's cool is like it, you
Wait,
know, I
wow.
look up to the sky because sometimes when I'm talking, I do that. And sometimes I'll have my hand like this. And so it will do that. If I have recorded a video and shown that, it will use my mannerisms and all of it. It's pretty cool.
Sorry, last question, I promise.
No, you don't have to. And keep going.
In terms of conversation of different levels of where excitement may happen and things like that, if you feed it in, will it pick that up in the actual script?
Yeah. And you can do your own voiceovers too, if you want. And there's a little more available. Some of these are older versions, and you'll notice, like if we showed you an older one versus a new one, that the voice was really monotone in the beginning, like even though it was my voice, and not that I do a lot of highs and lows, but like it really would sound monotone. And you couldn't do that much with it, and now you can speed it up a little bit. You can change the pitch and the tone. And earlier we were talking about 11 Labs, which is integrated now in with HeyGen, or at least part of their tools are. I think you have to have an actual account to be able to use all the capabilities, but in there you can do a lot more with the voice. So if that truly matters, then I would use something like 11 Labs to, bring the accuracy up even more.
And there's some funny tricks you can do, like when you're training it, you can sing a song, or use extra emotional highs and lows, volume highs and lows, your tone going up and down to create more information for it to train on.
That's great.
Yeah, I've sung my 30-second things.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
I haven't done that. I'm afraid Maricar is going to use it on social media. I'm kidding. Nobody wants to hear that. But yeah, we love HeyGen, and we've been using it, I don't know, from their beginning, I think. And it's just come a really long way, especially with the avatar and the capabilities to train it. They've had photo avatars where you give it a picture of yourself and it would just like animate the mouth at first, which looked very bizarre, kind of like weird claymation, or I don't know. It was just really strange. And now they have a different version of that photo avatar that does way better, where it, your eyebrows actually move, or you might move your head a little bit, and that's all from a photo. So it's pretty cool. I think, we have a little bit more of the newsletter left. Looks like Reddit is filing a lawsuit.
Yes.
Back up.
So we try to follow what's happening legally in AI, because you should be aware of what's happening, and how it might affect you. Reddit is suing based on training data, and that models have trained on its data. And so it's a misuse or an illegal use of their data that they're fighting about right now. And so, well, that's one of the ones that we'll watch, because most models are trained on the internet. And so this case is like, oh, just because we're on the internet doesn't mean you can train on us. And that would change, like, then that would mean everything ChatGPT trained on, everything Gemini trained on, they have some sets of data, but they trained on the internet, on the entire internet. Claude did the same thing too. So if Reddit won on this, it could change everything for all of the LLMs, and how they're trained. I don't know how you would back out of that.
Yeah, I don't either. It's like too late. But we'll see what happens. They're going to have to do something, because I just put in the chat that Disney and Universal are now suing Midjourney for some of that, because they're using like the Darth Vader character and probably some other images that
Harry Potter for sure.
So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that turns out too. That one just came up today. So
and we have a question. I think Christine has a question. I don't see what, will you let us know what your question is?
Oh, I was just, yeah, my takeaway from Thursday's call last week is we were going to kind of get into more of the actual like work or tools or something.